Welcome everybody to another episode of the Providence Lucha Talk. I'm your boy Jay Aguila.
This Lucito.
We're here to talk about everything and anything that has to do with wrestling. First of all, a moment silent for a legend who passed away a few days ago. His name is Butch.
One of the brothers of the Bushwhackers.
Yeah, one of the brothers of the Bushwhackers. R.I.P. Moment silent. And another moment of silence for every person who destroyed their TV at the end of the result of night 2 of Wrestlemania.
Yeah, it was.
God dang. Okay.
That had Vince smell all over.
It had his scent, his cologne.
Matter of fact, even the Brock Lesnar one, I was just like, oh, okay. So he's around.
The Brock. Okay, first of all, the Brock Lesnar match, we knew that was Vince. Like we knew it was Vince's idea because ideally, I think Bray Wyatt was going to work with one of the two.
Yeah, true.
And that got trash. They rewarded Bobby Lashley by winning on the
Andre Giant. Yep.
Rumble. Mm-hmm. He won that Friday night, which
doesn't mean nothing.
But then supposedly LA Knight was supposed to have like a match.
Yeah, it got scrapped because of the Finn Balor thing
with Bobby Lashley. Yeah. So then Bray got scrapped because of his promo. Bobby was like rewarded with winning this Rumble, right? And then Brock destroyed another black man on
exactly what I said. Like
it's like Vince is such a weird. And then what really ticked me off, I don't care if he had his fingerprint on the ending of WrestleMania Night 2. Mm-hmm. I don't care if he was not a big fan of certain, spots or matchup. Yeah. But the fact that Friday we were all excited about, I was going to wear the shirt too, the Latino World Order was going to be like reamped once again.
We still got time. They kind of he made it.
They scrapped it. Ugh. We had Becky G, we had Bad Bunny, we had like a bunch of people ready to rock the shit. We was ready, I foreseen that we was gonna get different colors too. Not only like the red, white, and green, but I could see the red, white, and blue, and all the other colors, red, yellow, and blue, whatever it is, and it got scrapped. And I'm like, yo, Vince, I don't know what happened to you when you were a little kid and your maid didn't I don't know if you got spanked by one and you're just taking out on us, but that is bullshit. I'm tight about that. I'm really tight about that. That would have been such a dope ass stable. And we would have Humberto joining in, Angel Garza.
Garcia is Humberto now.
Huh?
Garcia's Humberto now. No, I know.
First of all, I get it, but they're still Latinos.
No, they were given the shirt. We'll see what happened on Friday.
Nothing. It got scrapped.
Yeah, so
we had Becky Lee, Zelina, Bad Bunny. Damian Priest for a second forgot he was Judgment Day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There was a whole line of us ready, and it's gone.
Well, the Damian Priest and Bad Bunny situation, I think they need it. Bad Bunny will have a match on Backlash. I think it'll be Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio against Dominic. But
after WrestleMania, we got the announcement that Endeavor, parent company of UFC, has bought WWE for 21. No, the company was sold about
9.3 billion.
9.6 billion.
And now both companies are combined, they worth
21 billion.
Which is crazy.
Which is good for the owner of Endeavor. With that acquisition, they placed Mr. Vincent McMahon as charge of creative once again. And that boils my blood because wow. Wow.
It's crazy. He found a way in somehow.
It's in. how do you? Okay, what's your thought about the acquisition first?
I would say I understand the results for night 2 or the purchase, because I'm not saying Cody's Roman's more marketable at the moment, and kind of he could be a face for the company. Like this is WWE. This is kind of like they filled out SoFi Stadium. Basically, they put Hollywood WrestleMania at SoFi Stadium for a reason, so they could fill out a big stadium like this, and basically do two. I think the second night was 82,000, and the first night was like 80,000. They were able to fill it up, and they were able to give us basically like showcase what they could do on like really grand stage like SoFi Stadium. I see why the decisions that they made on WrestleMania like kind of like help the purchase, because I'm not saying Cody's not able to like lead the company, but they've already seen how stable it has been for the past 2 years with Roman and the helm.
So to rephrase it, it's not much of like the end. It's not much of what happened WrestleMania. It's like, what's your thought of like a new ownership?
I feel it was going to happen eventually. Vince was going to cash out. And I feel like this was like,
but you also had the anticipation that it could have also been Disney that could have bought.
Correct. But I feel like this makes more sense.
Okay.
Because they worked with UFC, also Brock Lesnar. There's people that they had similar interests that they could,
Right now, there's only 2 right now.
I know
Ronda and Brock are like the 2.
Correct. But you could move across, like, there's always been talks about Conor, maybe to WWE, who knows? And even Amanda Nunes coming across. We might see more UFC folks moving over, either retired or not retired, whatever, doing like a cameo or maybe being performers WWE, and like not vice versa. But I don't think maybe Riddle try out UFC or something, or even Brock Lesnar.
Riddle was also an MMA fighter
because you had Chad Gable, Olympian. I don't think he's UFC, but he's on that, and wrestler. Gable Stevenson as well. He's Olympian, so maybe try out for try some UFC, but because it worked out for I know Ronda's a little different, but it worked out for Ronda coming, crossing over, sort of, and same thing with Brock Lesnar going from and same thing Brock Lesnar moving over and coming back.
But it doesn't help out. But it didn't really help much for people like Blazer. Blazer also did MMA, but she really didn't. Really
but I don't think she was as notorious. I don't think she was like.
There's Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was not that notorious or noticeable. Who else? Part of
Bobby Lashley was he was Bellator though.
He was Bellator. He was MMA.
Yeah.
So there's a small handful that did MMA that's been on the other side and came to the professional wrestling and are doing decent. Not all of them are doing great. Most of them are doing decent. And some of them had to be rebrand over and over again. I'm not saying who it is, but it rhymed with Shazler. But I'm saying is that this purchase was a smart acquisition. It was about time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too happy that, one, they're still having Vincent McMahon involved.
I think it was part of of him selling. I think it was part of the deal. I want in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants.
But there's also a report that the owner of Endeavor, forgot his name. I got to learn his name too. He also got his eye on Vince. He's not that comfortable of him being in charge of creative. So it's like a lot of people really don't want Vince McMahon to even touch the product anymore. Yeah. It's like, you did your thing. We thank you for the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, part of 2010s. 2020, leave it to Triple H. Yeah. Leave it to Triple H. Leave it to Stephanie. Leave it to Tony Khan. Let them be.
We saw what happened and Raw. Like that's a Raw
numbers.
That was Raw. That was a Raw. I think created by Vince. I think it was not. It was probably one of the worst.
But before we talk about that,
but it was bad. It was
part of also the reason the acquisition was also successful because Triple H took the WWE to the UK. He took them to different part of the world, and they were able to produce viewership. They broke record. Like, every post interview, Triple H would say, "We did it again. highest revenue, highest number out of merch. We did that. Triple H put in that work because he knows the product.
And he took
the people.
And also he also took like kind of like the, I guess, a bad press that before he took it over, because there was a lot of bad press. Then he just like flipped it and kind of like gave us a better product.
He did so. He turned a negative into a positive and shoot for the sky. Now, the one thing I'm not too happy about is a report of that Endeavor may stop future pay-per-view events. So what does that mean? Currently, Backlash in Puerto Rico and the King and Queen in Saudi Arabia are locked in.
And they have
in May.
In UK they have Money in the Bank.
That might be changed.
Okay.
Right now, May, they're locked in. But after May, we're not even sure we're going to continue having those pay-per-view in Peacock. Okay. That's one. Even though they have a contract till, I think it's 2026. It's like 2020, 2025, 2026 is when their contract expired. Yeah. And they don't know if they're going to continue with the traditional pay-per-view, which means that what ideas may Endeavor have for us? Are they going to do more like put it on ESPN? Are they trying to like mix it up?
Because I feel like UFC mostly Saturdays. I feel like they could do not a package, but they could do like let's say the first and the last of the month, if they do a pay-per-view. Wow. And then the middle ones could be like UFC and alternate weeks. So you have 1 week UFC, 1 week WWE, like a month or something. So
I think you said something very, very important.
Because right now they're doing Saturdays as like pay-per-views. So like,
yeah. And who has the most viewership on Saturdays most nights? WWE. Yeah. Wow.
So you could alternate or like basically have like Rumble. We talked about The Rock doing cross branding promos from like the XFL if he did. Should've. So you could bring some UFC folks over to promote WWE or vice versa. Have Roman Reigns in front row in that UFC thing. So like at least you get cross branding,
and that's not a bad thing. Like for the sport, combat sports entertainment, this acquisition is it makes amazing. Sense. It makes sense for us wrestling fans or per se WWE fans. We don't know what to expect. Yeah. We're not sure if we're going back to Sundays. Are they going to go against Sunday Night Football? You know what I'm saying?
I think Saturday. So far. I think it's working because I feel like if they really want to get rid of competition, they could do Sunday, like before the football season starts, and like basically take numbers from AEW. Because basically right now you either have NXT or regular WWE on a Saturday, and normally the next day it's AEW. So if they really want to if they believe they could compete and like knock off AEW's viewership or split them, you could do that.
It's a possibility. Because UFC only competitor was WWE on Saturdays, especially with some of the big fights. Yeah. Jesus.
Then at one point, I think it was a SummerSlam that we were watching. We were watching in one Peacock, and the other one we had I think BT Sport or whatever, like UFC. Yeah, side by side.
We had it side by side, and we was just like supporting the both as much as we can. But it's going to be interesting on the future of WWE. Triple H, by the time this audio and video is released, he's already has spoken to the WWE universe of the future of the of the product itself. I'm hoping it's positive. Yeah. I'm hoping that he's saying that he's still going to be in some way in creative or fully announce, hey, Vince McMahon, it was announced he's doing this, but he's full retired. Like, I'm hoping it's something along that line. The one thing I would like to hear out of his mouth is like, my time is up and I'm done. He says that
it's crashing. But they if you think about it, they kind of like, he got his money. Everybody who had to make money, they made their money. So like literally, and literally he could be like, I'm out, and he already kind of cashed out because Vince bought the company, I think, for like, let's say $1 million. He sold it for $9 billion.
Oh yeah, like nearly
the 10 times maybe. Like it's just
more 90 times.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just So he already that's generational. Even with the million, this generational wealth in his family, so they're set.
I mean, first of all, Stephanie, Shane, they're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Their kids are perfectly fine. Their kids are gonna be. So the McMahons have been set for years. You know what I'm saying? A long time ago, thanks to his father. You know what I'm saying? And Triple H, as you said, he did cash out. He already sold majority of his stakehold a long time ago before this even came across the in play. So he's, you know, he's good. But like I said, I'll be heartbroken if he said, I'm walking out of WWE as a whole.
Yeah.
As a whole. Like,
I think he's still too embedded into the threat of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
such an important key, because think about this, right? With Triple H, right? He has been a great influence.
Correct.
So with the announcement of McMahon being in charge of creative, it seemed to force not one, maybe three great talents of not being part of WWE. And those talents are Jay Switchblade, FTR, both Drax and Wheeler, staying at AEW.
And the same thing, even sort of Mercedes Moné. That I was saying there was talks, but like she was a free agent, maybe not, and now definitely that's not gonna happen.
And that's not even gonna happen.
Yeah. And there's people trying to think of jumping ship. I think Bailey's one of them that she's not too happy.
Of course not.
And like, so there's people that could be like, I want out.
Io Sky.
I know Gristle Young Vets requested and they got out.
Yes.
So after the match,
So they won their match in Stand Up and Deliver, and now they're gone. Yeah. And it's like, what? All because of what?
I know it's great. Like,
yo, everybody know. And Lucito, tell me a time you waited for the Monday after WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the best.
And you get delivered one of the biggest package ever. How did it feel that you only got Matt Riddle return? That was it.
And also, like, the Brock Lesnar was fine. I didn't expect what happened at the end. But I was like, okay, cool. We're going to have, Brock and him. And I was like, no,
I was not too excited.
Brock was just like, that was Vince's be like, this is my exclamation point for the match. Like,
that was,
kudos we got Riddle back. Nice. But like, he's not enough.
And
you had almost against Elias. Why do that? Like, you just destroying Elias. You build them up. You basically took the beer off, gave him a new gimmick, give him the beer back, and now you destroy him again. Like,
yeah, it's like, what was the whole point of bringing him back?
No, like, it's pointless.
And then, God, I'm not sure if Vince had a fingerprint on Gunther, but that was like, that didn't make sense to me.
For the Mania match, or
for the IC, for the IC champion, that did not make sense to me. Tell me a good reason in your eyes it was still ideal that he continued with the belt, even though he already broke the record.
Yeah, I think they wanted to make him like the best or the most important IC title. Like, him defeating these two guys, one that's basically almost like he's just missing the IC title, Sheamus, and a former WWE champion. Like, that just propelled them to another level.
They're both previous.
Yeah,
WWE
but like
champions.
Basically, Sheamus was just missing the IC title.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like everybody, even the crowd, wanted Sheamus to like win.
We all knew. Yo, if this was baseball and that was not one of the perfect pitch to knock it out of the park,
I don't know. But I will say for Mania they gave us. I think the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens, it was great. I didn't like the match that they had with the Street Profit. It didn't feel like the night after Mania match. Like, it didn't have. Not I'm saying yes, they were going for the title. It didn't feel like important. Like, it felt like a regular match. It felt like an indie match, which is not good for me. It felt like when I watched it, I'm like, this looked like an indie match. It didn't feel like important or like that. Like,
it was rushed. It was rushed.
No.
I already seen like reports, and it showed that it was not. It seems like they just mix up like a few things. Okay, yeah, the winner of this fatal 4-way versus the tag team champion, they're gonna have a match next day. That does not excite us. We like build-ups. We will like a crossover of why these two are gonna fight. These two groups are gonna fight. We need to know who gonna start the fight. There was no reason of it. Seth Rollins walking out
and walking back out
and he walked out to the stage and walked back to the gorilla, and it was like, for what? Yeah. I wanted to know who he was gonna like. What was the promos gonna be focused on? Because I know it was not gonna be. I mean, he could trash talk Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, or like you gonna get the job done.
He could have trashed Logan Paul and KSI for wearing that stupid costume. He could have like gotten on Cody Rhodes for not getting the job done. He could have like, I don't know. It could have been between Dominique. It could have been.
Well, even like if they didn't know about the Jay White, do like. Like what?
If it was Jay White,
like or even do like a New Japan, at least a New Japan situation. Get like something. They just wasted time. Like
imagine if it was that Jay White is no longer coming to here. He changed his mind. They told him right on the spot, and Seth Rollins was like, "Well, all right."
Yeah. He was heated. Like I saw somebody's picked on like video on Twitter, and people was heated. Yeah, he was heated. I'm like,
he was like.
I don't know.
It's so unprofessional. It's so unprofessional.
They should have literally since he lost NXT. I know they probably want him for the next day, but like I would have just given him Braun Breaker. Go make your name, like because he lost the NXT title. So at least like not push him to the main roster, but something.
Good call on your behalf too, because you called
something like at least something like that. I'm like, all right, go against like Seth and make a program.
No, but they got Breaker going back as the heel. His heel turn was...
Yeah, but it was just like...
Was it too obvious for you?
Yeah. So eventually he had to break.
I mean, okay, but like at first... Okay, so this is my observation real quick. And yes, we're all over the place, but this is how wrestling... That's how we talk. I noticed like in the pay-per-view, Breaker lift his arms up, and Melo keep looking at him like he was supposed to get the clothesline, but nothing happened. So he continued celebrating normally, and Breaker just walk out. Then it happened again on Tuesday, and then he turned the heel. So it was like, was there miscommunication? Was there supposed to be a buildup? Like, why?
They were too nice with each other. When they were doing promos and stuff, I'm like, it's this.
Being nice is not a...
but it's just it doesn't.
It's not the end of the world. Like you could be nice and still have a good match.
Yeah, but they need to have a few I want to be. I'm number one. You think number one. Like I need to like.
All right, we're number one, but we're gonna just show it on the. That's where it mattered the most. Like us going back and forth. I'm sure we could try to change, the perspective of our fans, but what really gonna change their mind is how I deliver your move in that ring and how you deliver my move. You know what I'm saying? That's what counts. It's the stuff that you out of the match that
the story basically between. Yeah, it was just I don't know.
It was weird.
But it was just like, I don't know. If this is what the new year starts for WWE, it's gonna be tough.
Oh yeah, technically this is their like
Friday. Literally
like this is the episode 1 of the new season for SmackDown, and it's Triple H opening up, and I don't know what he's gonna say, but please don't be the words that I'm leaving WWE. Like I am. Well,
because I don't think there's no big return. The only people that could potentially come back, which I doubt, AJ Styles, Randy Orton. New Day fully like with Big E. That's about it. Like there's nothing like.
I don't think Big E. Personally, I read a comment that Big E said that his reign was so short and they were still meat on the bone.
Yeah.
it was so rushed. It was not like the foundation of it was not laid out well for him to be able to like say, yes, I had a good reign. It's no, my reign was short and I still had full potential. And I don't think he wants to go back to a person who limited it, who sent out the actual beast himself to end his reign. Who the same dude who ended the reign of Kofi Kingston, The Rock, and
almost.
No, it was
that, but like,
Bobby Lashley maybe. Yeah. Was it Bobby? WrestleMania 20 something 19
probably, but it was just like
it's first. It's right now. We're hoping for the best. But yet it's like I don't see who else gonna stick around. If NXT was easily to let go of those two individuals, right? Imagine the big stars. You know what I'm saying? And JR clearly said AEW is like past capacity right now.
Yeah, they don't
know what to do with all these talents because it's like, what other mouth can we feed? Because we're already mad.
So they try to even throw people at Ring of Honor, like just like wherever they absorb, like all right, go to Ring of Honor.
Exactly. It's like, bro, what is WWE doing that? It's not that hard. It's not that hard, guys. You just let Triple H be Triple H, and the world will be a happy place.
But if they lose Bayley, they lose like a staple for the women's division.
Dakota becomes lost in the shuffle. Io may have a possibility working with Asuka.
Yeah. And even that was like the worst. Like you build Asuka.
I take it back. Dakota could work again with Raquel. Yeah. Or like get her trust
team
back.
up or go back.
Or Tegan Knox too. Like they could do that group thing for a short period of time. And that's it. Yeah. There's no way. I don't see her like right now. Rhea.
I think the best thing that came out of this whole weekend is probably Rhea Ripley for me.
Okay, but what about the rumor that she's like early pregnant, prego? Like, and supposedly, so
you saw the thing that was like the meme that was like daddy and like buddy or whatever.
So the rumor is that she's early prego, and they might build a story that Dominique is the father, even though it's Buddy Murphy. Yeah. But there's, you know what I'm saying?
And Buddy was with his sister.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, yeah.
At least they're keeping the family.
Allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly. I was looking for the word, allegedly. So that, I'm not sure how true that is.
Because she's the only successful one from the Judgment Day, because everybody else lost. Except Dominic. Damien, yeah. Wilson. He's probably going to lose too.
No, she did lose, but losing her because of maternity leave, that means Bianca Belair has to step up.
And somebody else?
Like, you're left with Liv, Natalia, Ronda, Blazer. Becky again, but Becky's...
Bayley could take it, maybe.
If she's still with the company. Yeah.
And it's for the SmackDown, so she could be in the opposite.
I'm not sure if they're ready for Lacey Evans.
No, she's not ready
for Chelsea Green, Carmella, 3-time champion, Alexa Bliss, if she already recovered from her injury, even though she was in the Masked Singer, but I'm not sure if she's ready to be a champion. True. Charlotte, I don't think she wants to
again.
Like, we're good. Yeah. Like 13 is a great number. Like. Also, happy belated birthday, but also to Dominique too. Happy belated.
Yeah, she won and lost, which is fine. She got 13, but it's just like, I don't know, like she got it too fast, which is fine, but it's just like now what? Like she needs to do.
There's no one else for her. Yeah, the only thing that she's missing is winning the Money in the Bank, and she won the Rumble.
Yeah, because she won against. She won it. Yeah, she won the Rumble.
So she already has the Rumble.
You could win the Queen of the Ring.
I mean,
that's like
Money in the Bank and Queen of the Ring are like the two titles left. Yeah. She already been 2-time NXT champion, multiple times SmackDown champion, multiple time Raw's
She
champion.
was a tag team with Asuka.
She was tag team with Asuka. I there's nothing if she's there's not much for Charlotte to do. For her, it's really like end her contract and solidify more of her legacy in the AAA, in Impact. Like Impact right now, like Mickey James is great.
Jordan Grace.
Persada. Okay, let's up. Real talk,
beast.
yo, Grace, I was just she posted her show.
Her routine was crazy, but I think she was 4% body fat.
She was less than 10% body fat. But this is the crazy part too. They had her with two other girls, right? Yo, when it comes to the front side and the legs,
but even the back, like I think she won all around. Like she won,
bro. The detail of the legs itself, I was like, yeah, she's already killing it. Because there was one girl who was not that like detailed with her muscle, but on her back though, she and Grace were definitely like
true. But I think she won. She won the amateur one, and she won all around amateur. I think she won
she murdered them. Like there was no competition to her. Like kudos to her for killing.
And from what she came from, like basically work her body until like what she is now. It was just crazy.
And she already gained her 20+ pound too. Like I just saw a comment that people was like, "Oh, can you show us how it looks now compared to when you first started?" She was like, "Dude, I'm 20+ pound. Like that's gone." She says she's going to try to stay within the 12% body fat, which is she's still going to look slim and big. I think close to Jade, but she's not going to
No. But Jade is a little taller. I think she is 5'4".
Right.
And Jade is like 5'10". So it shows different.
And also with Grace too, in her competition against the other two, like in her Twitter account and her IG, you can see it. Like she was nearly equal proportion from her her arms with her legs, her torso down to like everything was like nearly equal. Everybody else, like the one girl, her arm was too skinny. I was like, damn, that's a little bit off.
Yeah, but even that's
comparison.
And that's the amateur division too. So they so imagine her being an amateur looking like that, then she should put in more years into it. She's gonna be ridiculous.
Yo, imagine if she really goes pro. I feel like she could definitely go at least top 3. Top 3 she could definitely
the people that have been doing pro for that stuff, they're in it. Like that's a lifestyle.
That's their life. That is like but going back, if Charlotte leaves WWE, AAA, Impact Wrestling, Mickey James, we talk Persona, what's her name? Dion Purrazzo. There's Dion Purrazzo. There's Grace.
There's even
because
the
Grace is a
NWA.
champion.
Yeah, imagine her against a girl from NWA. Her dad started NWA, and she could finish NWA. You know what I'm saying? Like called full circle.
Bro, she could like Charlotte.
Honestly, she don't. I feel like she could go. I don't need to see her in AEW. She don't need to go to AEW.
I never thought of
no, but like her in New Japan would be great. NWA, Impact, even AAA, MLW, but like AEW, I feel like I appreciate that her boyfriend or her husband sort of still signed there, but we haven't seen him.
We have not because he doesn't like Sami Zayn. Yeah. Like, I mean, like simple as that. Yeah. Like, hey. Oh, the third name that came to mind, who also didn't jump ship to WWE, Brian Cage.
True, because I know he was competing in Ring of Honor.
So it was Jay, Switchblade, FTR, the group, and Brian Cage, who's still the triple trio champions for Ring of Honor with the Embassy. So it's like, Vince's name scare a lot of people, but his name just came to me. I had to make sure I brought
Switchblade would have been perfect to go to WWE.
How did you feel about him making his official appearance to the brand?
He's still young. I think he's 20 something, so he could still do maybe his next re-up compete basically like what is it, the free agency battle of 2020 something MJF, like they could make them two compete, so he could still go to WWE. So we just gotta see what he has left over, not left over, but what he got for in AEW.
You think he really gonna go to WWE knowing the limitation or not knowing what is in store for him?
But I would say it's like not more secure, but like I feel like people that done the indie circle and like been the guy, they somehow they end up in WWE. So they like same thing with like, for example, like Luke Gallows and Anderson, they did indies, they went through New Japan, went to WWE. You had AJ Styles was like the guy in Impact, came to WWE. Samoa Joe went to the, even though he, they went back to the indies afterwards, but like I feel like everybody want to see I feel like it's not a bigger market, but it's like it's a destination that you should visit.
Well, I don't want to be a philosopher on you right now, but hear me out. Everything you just said just proved that the grass is not always greener. It's not always greener. Like, I don't know why Chelsea Green decided to go back to WWE, knowing that they didn't package her properly,
But she wasn't packaged properly in Impact either. Like, she wasn't being used.
I mean,
as much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
with Matt Condona, she was at least relevant together in that aspect.
Well, he still could be around. Like, he could go over to.
But in WWE right now, she's just been
another one, like a filler.
Quick matches, jobber, all the small bits, filling spaces that Breezango was killing it, or in New Day. She's trying to fill in those funny roles that's not working out for her. And it's like, girl, why you went back? You could have went elsewhere. You could try New Japan. You could try Puerto Rico. You could try anyone else.
But I think the end game potentially we might see Cardona come across.
Well, they did a while back.
He got his name,
the copyright of Zack Ryder. So there's a great chance we could see Ryder back, but. I don't know. He wants to come back now with Vince being in charge of creative.
But he would be a good next person for Gunther.
Person.
No, for at least Gunther for the IC title. That'd be good.
I mean, Ryder story to obtain the IC championship that's a memorable one too.
And now you have his
dad was involved in it too.
And now you have like his come up again. Like now he's like rebranded because it's like he's a different person, physically and everything.
The same thing what happened with Drew.
Yeah,
Drew went to the indie, rebuilt himself, made himself a badass mofo. Did the NXT, did Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, it like Drew gave the blueprints on how to do it properly.
And this opportunity is for him if he came back. But him and Edge, like the Brood, that would still be good.
So Matt Cardona and Edge
they were together. The Edge heads, I don't even remember the Edge heads, but it was Matt Cardona, Hawkins, and Edge.
Yeah, you think Hawkins is really going to come back?
Yeah.
He's fine with whatever he's doing. I know that for sure. With MLW, I believe he's in. Or Impact?
I think he's in Impact.
Yeah, he's fine. They're fine. Oh. They just got, spend an extra few dollars on marketing so people can see it on their social media and your company will grow. Like, it's not that hard. It's additional $20 to $100. Mofo. Like,
I know.
All right.
I know. But it's just, I don't know. For me, it's just like Raw was underwhelming.
Yes.
I don't know what's going to happen. Even NXT was okay. It was a recap thing. Everybody in NXT was chanting 5 ends. They had to, lower the, people saying,
And what's going to happen on SmackDown? People are going to attempt again. Fire Vince.
It's just, I don't know. I feel so, I was like, yo, I'm looking forward for Monday.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you, but imagine if, people start to, actual protests. Mm-hmm. And the numbers drop, and the new order is what the fuck?
And people start because I know one guy got his sign confiscated. The Dana Brooke sign, he got confiscated because I think it's to give Dana a chance. And I was like, yo, you can't be doing that.
Dana deserves a chance.
Yeah, she does.
My man, her body changed. She became much healthier. Yeah. She was a great 24/7 champion. Like, she's athletic too. Like, why can't she get a chance? She's supposedly Vince type, blonde. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll see.
God damn.
They need that. I feel that they need to do like a superstar shakeup, just to like reshuffle everybody around. But I think they're gonna keep it kind of status quo for a little bit.
There's supposed to be a status shakeup. I think it's gonna happen after Backlash.
Yeah.
WWE, come on.
I know.
It's frustrating. On the other news, FTR, another reason why they haven't transitioned over to WWE. Previous night, they have won the tag team champion once again, making them a 2-time champion, tag team champion in AEW history, alongside with
Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks. Yeah.
Maybe Young Bucks and even the Moxley and
I think the Lucha Bros.
Probably.
I feel like Lucha Bro was 2-time champion in
Probably. It's been 2-3 years, but it's just like
it's not SCU because that group broke up. I know it's not Kenny and him and Paige. Young Bucks possibility. I think Young Bucks maybe are the first 2-time champions. So they're along with some great teams. I personally was not too happy about this, Lucito, and this is why. I loved and I was so invested on the idea that the Acclaim and the Guns were going to have one more match. Similar to the FTR and the Briscoe, RIP Mark. Jay, we miss you, bro. I thought they were going to do it one more time. You know what I'm saying? A trifecta of this match to see if they could really sell it to them.
True.
And if the Acclaim would have won it, great. And if they would have lost it, fine. Yeah. But you have given us one last match among these two teams.
But we could have them to be the number one contenders for.
Is it the same? Okay, so this is going back to the same conversation about, is the Elite versus BCC the same without the belt being involved? Like, do you still have that same type of competition, that edge? Because right now, all I'm seeing is more of a beatdown than like a rivalry type of thing. Yeah. Like, Young Bucks are out. Kenny was hurt. Heyman got assaulted. Yeah. It's like it.
I know it's
like
tough.
With the belt. At least there's certain
something to fight for.
Exactly.
I know. But I think that was another way for them for the FDR, not to re-sign it, but it's like, you're gonna be champions again. Kind of like a little perk of there you go, thank you.
Okay,
so re-signing.
$1 million question: who's gonna be their rival? Who's gonna be the next competitors? Shoot it to me straight, man. Who's going to rival FTR right now?
In the AEW, I hope nobody from Ring of Honor. I would.
Oh, also speedy recovery to our good friend Dante Martin.
Yeah, that.
Bro,
that's a risk about being a high flyer.
And his brother, shout out to the Oracle, who's training really hard right now in the Whistler wrestling school. But he explained to me that Dante's brother just came back from his injury.
So they haven't been together. Yeah.
It's fully assembled, and now we lost Dante. Speedy recover, my guy, because that, settlement, though, had to be a little bit you know what I'm saying?
But I'm you could have, I know the Battle of the Belts, just to have a, exhibition. Mm-hmm. You could have Champions of Champion, Lucha Bros and FTR, and just kind of a exhibition match, not a championship match. I don't want FTR to, neither of them to have be dual champions.
But that's already been done.
But besides that, there's really, I hope nobody from BCC.
That story has been told. BCC be interesting because I would love to see if Moxley.
I would say maybe
because Brian and Moxley are the two without a belt,
so they could probably compete.
And they were the originals, team before the add-ons.
So you could see them two, even best friends. but there's really nothing
I've
there.
been praying for best friend. Lord knows I wanted best friend.
But that's really nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else
have
like
that. Lucha Bros, I love y'all, but we already seen.
We could see
Fly
probably
versus Fist.
You could do Realistico and Rouge, or even
That's a job.
But is it Rouge with the other guy with number 10 together for the I guess
FTR something?
Yeah, but basically 10. That's really like nobody else. Because Keith
Dark
Lee
Order is like Uno and Homeboy is back, Grayson, but that's not enough.
There's really nobody else.
Kenny and Hammond could try to do it, but they're currently working with BCC
and JSA. Maybe like Jericho if he wants to try to get the tag team.
Who his partner will be? What's the team?
You could do same.
The Spanish Gods. That was the name?
But Sammy. It's at the moment he's going for the main title. So you could have Jack Hager and Jericho,
or Garcia.
But I think Garcia's more focused on Ring of Honor at the moment. He's been doing Ring of Honor, but I know
Is he the one who's going to challenge Yuta for the belt or no?
No, Yuta doesn't have the belt anymore.
The fuck?
Yeah, he lost it at Ring of Honor at the last pay-per-view before the WrestleMania weekend.
But it was just recently I saw that he was making a challenge to be like, yo, in Forbidden Door, this and that.
Yeah, so he's going for the title. He doesn't have the title.
Who took the belt?
The other guy, the guy that he challenged, he's good. I could look up his name, but yeah, he lost the title. Yeah.
Yo, Ring of Honor, I need you to appear more on my news feed, because what? That is freaking amazing.
So, what was it? Briscoe couldn't get it done. So he doesn't want to do...
Briscoe said he
Mark Briscoe. Yeah, he doesn't want to do tag team. He'll do trios and singles, but he won't do that.
Exactly.
Eddie Kingston, unsuccessful. Hijo del Vikingo won that one. Embassy kept it. It was Katsuyori Shibata. He's good. From New Japan, took the Ring of Honor one.
Wow.
I think Garcia lost. Athena kept it. So, yeah. So he's the only one in the card that...
Willow lost to Athena.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you had... the Lucha Bros winning the tag team, you know how those the battle rap.
So they also have 7 type of champions? No,
they've won almost every brand.
AAA, AEW, Ring of Honor.
They haven't done WWE. That's the only.
Yeah, man, but WWE there's 3 belts.
Yeah.
So do they only have?
They probably 4 or 5.
Have they won the New Japan belt?
I don't think so.
That's something I don't know. We should.
But yeah. So Garcia at the moment, Yuta no title. The only one with a title it's Castiglione. So I like Yuta being the hunter, instead of being a hunter, because I feel like it gives him more drive to not try harder, but you see the fire within him. I feel like he's an okay champion, but it's that champ is your workhorse one. So give it, pass hands, throw different people, or even defend it. But it was good.
So according to this right here, they wrestle in Lucha Libre AAA worldwide. They are 2-time AAA World Tag Team Champions. They previously appeared in Impact Wrestling, former World Tag Team Champion. Penta had to resign the Impact World Championship. Oh, good for him. As were Major League Wrestling, MLW. So that's 3. Former tag, making them the only team to have AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, MLW, and AAA championship. They have 5. Shit. Yeah.
And I think they were the right team for me. I think they were the right team to win the Ring of Honor one.
Forbidden Door. I hope they go for the tag team belt, because that's 6 out of WWE. That would be 6, and I don't know who else, but that's awesome. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm so happy to be Latino right now, because that shit is awesome.
But the tag team, it's just it's tough. There's really nobody for AEW to not compete against FTR, but there's nobody to.
I wish the Proud Santana and
Ortiz.
Homeboy.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish Lax would get back together. That would have been fucking amazing.
I would say, the only people I would think of Roosh, best friends, and this guy doesn't even swerve.
JTG and freaking the old dude, they could try to get.
But the same thing with like Swerve, he disappeared. Remember Swerve? He had his group, and we haven't seen them. Like Swerve Enterprises.
Was it too graphical for the audience? Like,
I don't know, but it was just
he's just gone. Like,
I know Keith Lee has some beef with Jericho, but Keith Lee came back with white hair and stuff.
No, I saw the white hair.
It was
but
just
he came out of freaking Swerve with it.
Yeah.
So now is Jericho and Keith Lee working?
I feel that. Let's see if Jericho can resuscitate his like timeline. I don't know what can do because
there's not much he can do. Like the one thing Jericho said, like he likes the idea of mixing it with the younger generation, so that way he could help them out and they could help him out with the new fandom, so they could get familiarized with him. But Keith Lee is not a young dude.
But like I feel like what Jericho did for Kingston, he could do to Keith Lee. Kind of spark his like.
But then it goes
interest.
back to our earlier arguments. I'm so immature. Our conversations of Kingston needing the help of an S tier or Ace tier star to make them relevant, and after that privilege is gone, then it's
gone. Like
it's gone.
Yeah. So I think Keith Lee. I know he doesn't need it. Like he's amazing, but like they don't know how to use him, and it's just
make him wrestle. Go have him and Miro. Okay. Tony Khan, listen to me clearly, all right? Keith Lee needs to face a bigger dude, all right? You put him, showing him how strong he is. Have Mark Henry be his manager to like show him the way, right? Okay. And he will go. Now, first we hated it with the trio between Death Triangle and the Elite, but you put that same concept, best out of 7, between him and Miro, toe to toe, and you give us one of the hellest match ever, and that's all you need to push him over.
And do you think they could be together? You know, that's kind of what happened to Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yes and no.
Oh,
yes and no.
But they both will earn each other's respect to like be together. Because
once everything is 3-3 and it's the last match, they have to have a common enemy in order for them to reunite, and I don't know who's that common enemy. It's not Hobbs. It's definitely not freaking Cage. It's not
because it might be
it's not Warlow. It has to be someone who's like an MJF like villainism. You know what I'm saying? Someone in that aspect.
It could be the House of Black, maybe.
They do have Brody King. Brody King might be that person, but he's not that, like, if he's not as present, you know what I'm saying, or known for people to be, watch out for Brody King is just like, all right, whatever, you know. Same dude who got who lost to freaking Darby. Darby,
well, also Miro lost against Darby.
Miro did lost to Darby. So there's Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And then Samoa Joe whoop his ass again. Yeah. Samoa Joe would be the answer. Samoa Joe.
We'll see.
So best out of 7 between Keith Lee and Miro, right? Mm-hmm. Crazy matches, strongman matches, whatever. Put them in the cage. Yeah. Reinforce everything. You know, let them cause havoc. But it's Samoa Joe that ruins the last match, and with the help of his partner of choice, it could be anybody, I don't care, and that's going to reunite a hell of a tag team. That would be my push. That would be my push.
Let's see.
Mark Henry training Keith Lee, and then like down the line towards the end of the year, we get the best out of 7 match. I'd be in for it.
Well, even for the summer would be nice. At least they could spread it out in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Because there'll be like Forbidden Door, All Out. You know what I'm saying? Like the big payout could be.
Like for storytelling purposes, man, I don't know how much I want to stretch it out. So maybe Summertime would be best.
So.
All right. Let's talk about pros and cons about WrestleMania, and Stand Up and Deliver. If you have any thoughts on it, so what are your pros?
Night 1 was better than night 2.
Okay.
Our pros will be Rhea Ripley winning.
Yes.
Ray finally giving his kid a
Whooping
whooping.
his ass. Yeah, just whooping his ass,
Which is good.
with the belt.
And I will say, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That was like my top 3 things. Like, I will say, unfortunately, that's everything night 1. But night 2 was just like, eh.
Cons. Snoop Dogg doing the people's elbow.
I will say that's a pro.
That was a con.
No, because he saved that segment.
Well,
He saved it.
Shane, unfortunately, speedy recovery, tear up his ACL.
So he was like, last minute, all right, I gotta do something. Let's do. I would say that's like it's you know it's Snoop Dogg doing his thing, but
it was improv, but it was still.
I would say gold star for him. He saved that segment. Because anybody could have been like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Because McAfee was more like wowzer than, you know.
No, true. But like, Snoop doesn't wrestle. He's an entertainer.
He's too old to do this shit again.
But like, he was able to save that segment. I feel like if he wasn't there, or if anybody would have been in the spot.
Was he in AEW during the pandemic for a segment?
Probably the beginning.
I know Shaq. Shaq. Yeah, because there was a conversation about like, Snoop is supporting AEW and then his Hall of Famer shit, blah blah blah, some shit like that.
Whoever paid the most money, he's gonna go to.
Of course.
So it's not like, but I would say I give him prop. Like, yes, the people's elbow wasn't crazy,
that
but
was
like,
a con for me.
Well, he saved that segment.
Damage Control taking an L
again.
That's the con. That was a con. The obvious one is Cody. I mean, everything, like, on paper, if you read it to yourself, like, don't even watch it, just read it, and you see the distraction, the support, the help, the reinforcement, then the return of Solo with Heyman, everything made sense till that last part. But what made it more of a con for me is the fact the ref did a 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? It's really 1, 2, 3. Cody should have been champ. Yeah. Cody should have been champ. But
I know. And he got the bionic elbow. He did the figure 4. He did everything. Even the pedigree. He pulled the pedigree. I don't know.
He enchanted his father's spirit. He used some of his brother. He did everything he could think of. And
I know.
Vince said, Roman Reigns.
Which is, I guess, whatever.
It's what you comment earlier. I don't want to dismiss it because it was valid, but it didn't really focus on that conversation. But what you said is valid. Roman Reigns is marketable. That is true.
And it's like the company. Like, I feel like the company was interested. That Endeavor was interested in WWE when Roman was champion. So that they kind of expect to have like a status quo. And Cody's sort of unknown. From like what, like
everybody was ready to shout whoa on Monday. They were ready to like with him with the gold.
But also they gave us, unfortunately, they gave us a hint on Friday that it's all about the story. So like the story continues, unfortunately.
So the Oracle. Shout out to the Oracle. Shout out to my boy Brian. He believes that Roman Reigns, when did he start his championship reign?
This would have been 365 a year. 1,000 days or which one? Because they're trying to get closer to the 1,000 days. But I think it was for the WWE one, it was 365 days already. Okay,
so
it's up already.
Okay, so Bruno.
Yeah, it's 1,000 days.
It's more.
No, but I know he has one. It's a year, and the other one's longer. I think he had the Universal longer than WWE one.
All right. So Oracle is predicted. Okay, when
he won, he unified it a year ago.
He unified a year ago, but he had which belt the longest? The
blue one,
Since when? 2021, 2022?
Probably a little during COVID.
During COVID?
Yeah.
So if it's, let's say it's 2021, right? Bro, Oracle predicts by 2028, Roman is still going to be Universal Champion to be Bruno's biggest stat of holding the championship for over 2,850 days or 5 days.
He has 949 days for the
941 days with the Universal. Yeah. Oracle is predicting that he's breaking the 28.
Yeah.
The 2804 or 50, whichever is the last 2 digit. My dyslexic ass is mixing those last numbers up. But yeah. Imagine Roman Reigns champion for another, we're in 2005 more years.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Can't.
No, I will say another year.
I cannot.
Fine.
Fine.
But not another,
It was you know me. Yeah. It was Sammy or it was Cody. Yeah. It was one of those two for me. It was time for, because
there's nobody else at the moment built for him to go against him at the moment. Brock can't go for it. Cody, probably the only one.
Does the story continue on for The Rock to make an attempt? Even though he does terrible job on his film production.
He did a promo you never know, oh, I give props to my family, but there's always an opening. So maybe we can see him at Philadelphia, or maybe the one after that.
One more year with Roman Reigns. I'm not gonna buy a shirt. You are not gonna see, you are not gonna see me rocking in Uso or Roman Reigns. None of the bloodline shit. I am done with it. I'm done. I'm wearing The Rock because this is a classic 90s that they reprinted, and I was able to catch that shit. Yeah. But this is.
I got myself a LWO though. All right, that's in the mail.
All right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. But this is the only Samoan I'm ever rocking. Everybody else, kick rock. I'm done. I don't want the shield. I don't want the penitentiary, the one. None. I didn't even want Sammy Uso, and I wanted that shirt too because it was funny. But I don't even want that. Yeah. I'm done. I'm tired. I
know it's.
What's happened with the bloodline is similar to what happened to the Raw women division. There's no other. There's nothing else. There's nothing else.
I wonder what's gonna happen to the Usos. Who knows? I don't think they'll be champions again yet.
Jay will be having a match with Sammy 1-on-1.
Well, that's about it. I think Solo. They should focus on Solo. Maybe either US or IC.
Solo is the only one who never faced Reigns. Yeah. And the only person you mentioned this back in I think February or January. Yeah. You said there's a idea that Solo could be the person to fully break down Reigns. I hope it is, but we don't know if it's yet.
Because that's from within, basically. Every faction is destroyed from within.
And remember, when it comes to the family, right? Roman is their
cousin, uncle, basically.
Uncle, yeah. You saw that same clip too.
That's their uncle. So imagine your youngest nephew beating
and the other two are his blood, blood, same mom, same dad, blood over an uncle. Fuck out of here, man. Of course they're gonna be on the.
And he's seen everything they did to both Jay and Jimmy, so 100%. He's gonna be all right, now it's my turn.
1,000%. So right now it's the only person besides Dwayne The Rock fucking Johnson.
And I would say even Gunther. He might be eventually in the picture.
Except Gunther's streak is gonna be broken if he's in this crossfire. And I don't think it's good for.
I feel like it's
not good for business.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think it's really good for business because ideally you have, not to sound racist, okay? Let me just clear this out. Not to sound racist, but you have your all strongest European. Mm-hmm. You also have your strongest Samoan for the urban. You have a badass black man in Bobby Lashley. And unfortunately, Rey Mysterio is the only tough Latino that we
Active.
have.
I would say Santos Escobar, but he's not there yet.
He's not even close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't think you want to, like, if we're talking about, like, Northeast, you know, like, you don't want Gunther to take that first L like that. You know what I'm saying? Because for the Asian culture is Asuka.
Yeah.
But I just learned that she's 0-5.
Yeah, for
in
every Mania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. She's,
So it's like,
they build her up for no reason. Yeah.
And she's the strongest representation for the Asian culture. So it's like, bro, it's like everything seems balanced, but not really. So you put a 1 on Gunther, you're messing with the force.
Yeah. Eventually, he has to lose. Eventually, but
he could be absent. It could be relinquished.
Or he could
be.
Or he could be like, you know what, I defeated.
Pinned.
He could be like, I defeated everybody. There you go. Like,
I'm done.
Yeah, I want that. You know, the main title. It's like done everything I did with this one. There you go.
The triple threat was the only matchup that would allow him to take an L without.
But he wants Brock. He wants Brock.
Brock wants him too.
Yeah.
Brock said he wants Gunther. Yeah. I'm like, yo, do we let this white on white cry? I can't finish that, Steve. Do we really let the Beast go after Gunther like this?
Or maybe Gunther going against the Beast, like going.
So basically, so Brock take L's like he did with Roman. Is that what we're seeing?
You don't got that much to like. He should retire. He's like a mercenary at the moment.
Well, right now he's working. He's going to work with Cody.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Cena a couple years back.
Yeah, but Brock fucked him up. That Cena was out for months.
Yeah, but he's basically getting the Cena treatment now. So he's like, oh, now you want to be the guy that this what your trials and tribulation as being the guy.
That's wild. That's wild. This nut. Is there anything else that we're missing?
I think we cover a little bit of everything. Yeah.
So
unfortunately this week everything's been underwhelming.
It's a lot. Yeah, you're right. There's been a lot of things happening. We're just checking our notes real quick. Yeah. Bullet Club definitely could be in full effect in AEW for sure. We talk about the pay-per-view stuff, how they scrapped the LWO segment in Raw, because that was supposed to happen on Monday, and that was throughout. Vince is responsible for the loss of Cody,
and the loss for Omos, everybody. There's really not literally unfortunately. This is I thought it was gonna be like a crazy episode.
As year passed, yes, we are supposed to be excited for returns, epic moment.
Because even new management, you would think company under new management is gonna be new stories, new everything, and
Kairi Sane could have showed up. Yeah, Roxanne Perez would have moved up
because she lost. I know we had new champions. We had Carmelo Hayes, new champion. We had Indy Hartwell.
Congratulations.
Gallus stayed the same.
Alba and
Alba Fire. Yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
Roxanne could have moved up. I would have been happy for that.
I think maybe we'll see what happens. SmackDown. Maybe she's SmackDown.
SmackDown is only 2 hours, my guy. And so far, we only got a match. We have a Triple H segment, and so far we know about Jay versus Sami Zayn. I don't know what could happen, man. I fear for tomorrow. I really do, because I don't know.
I think I gotta see. I may or may not go to the AEW Battle of the Belts. We'll see how
the one in URI. Bless it, yo. I can't, knowing that they do 4 to 5 show in one night. It's my at least give us a fucking discount on the food or something.
Well, the tickets are a little cheaper now, so I don't know if people know. I don't know, but
wait, did
they're
you
cheaper?
Just spill wait.
They're cheaper now.
Wait, spill bean alert. You're telling me tickets are down from what originally said?
Yeah, now I saw a couple of floor seats that were $65.
Oh shit.
So So I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. I don't know, but like, yeah,
That is so tempting. You know,
I know. I was
that
like,
is so tempting.
that's what I told Marco workers. I'm like, he told me, I'm like, oh, you sold tickets. I'm like, for what? So what are you doing Saturday, Friday? I'm like, watching SmackDown. Like maybe watch AW at home. He was like, well, the tickets are cheap, and I'm like, how cheap? So there was 3 in a row, like by the ramp to the right. There was 65, and I think like the first like official round, I think it was like tops $80, and I'm like, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
But like I would prefer higher seating because like everybody sets up and is taller than me, so I probably like sit in the like a higher level.
Like stills under your
but it's not.
too.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
All right, so I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, tomorrow definitely Thursday. Friday. We'll see what happens. Battle of the belts.
Impact definitely has a triple threat match for the women's championship between Mickie James, Peraza, and Grace, which that should be real good for people to enjoy. Nothing else come to mind besides that. So
I think the only thing they're trying to build stories now is for Backlash. So I think that the match that has sort of been set in stone is Bad Bunny with Rey Mysterio against Dominic and Damian Priest. I think that will be the main event, hopefully, unless it's a championship match or something. You want Bad Bunny to finish out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would like to have Bad Bunny to do 2 things. One, give us a concert. That's number 1, or song.
Yeah,
get the whole thing hyped up. 2, if he does the concert towards the middle, I want him to be the opening match.
Okay.
Because he will set the tone for people to get excited about Backlash.
But it should be good. I sold tickets, but I'm like, I'll watch it at home for $5.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll save the trip for something else.
Yeah.
For the Wembley, AEW got Wembley Stadium for All In, I think.
Yes. Yeah. That was the big fucking announcement. Yeah. I know. Yo, Tony Khan really got to stop using these special and big and grand words. Like, bro, just say, important announcement. Just say that, and we will know.
Like Jay White and Wembley Stadium, cool. That's it. Or even have Jay White tell everybody, hey, you know what I'm saying? He's from Europe.
Oh yeah, and they also acquired Nigel from the announcer.
From Ring of Honor.
From Ring of Honor, which is nice touch. But still, like, use the word important announcement from Tony Khan, or we will be. You know, we got words from Tony Khan on news. Like, don't make it like, oh, it's gonna be very impactful. And
he needs to chill out. Like,
I'm so like, what's the word? Like, it doesn't impact me anymore. It doesn't affect me.
He needs to chill out. Like, he needs.
I'm
like,
amused
a chill
to
pill.
When I see big, huge, great, badass announcement from Tony Khan. I'm like, something whack. It's gonna be.
That was the only thing that it was like that met expectations. Sort of was like the CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Paige. That's it. Anything after that, I didn't care. Like
no. And
he's like Andy from the Toy Stories. He's just collecting, collecting all his
You're
toys.
Calling Tony Khan the toy collector. That's funny.
He's Andy from Toy Stories. Like,
though, I thought, look, the one thing that could happen in the UK, right? They're going to the UK.
All right.
Will Ospreay. That's the one thing I'm just like.
We'll see. There's still time.
Right. That's the only thing I want to see if.
But they have the Aussie Open in Ring of Honor.
Right.
So that's the only missing piece.
That's, that's the only reason why I'm hoping that they get Ospreay because he's in the market in a few weeks. You know what I'm saying, from New Japan. So that's the only big announcement I would like to see, or him himself be like, "I will be here."
Wembley Stadium or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
True.
That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Well, guys, we have made it to the end of our show. We went down this rabbit hole, but, we're out of it, enlightened, still hoping for the best.
I know. We'll see what happens. It's just WWE.
If Rhea's pregnant, she's pregnant. Even she'll be a badass mother too. Like dead ass. Calling it right now. She'll be a badass mother. But it'll be interesting to see how things work out, and once again, speedy recovery for Dante and Shane. Even though to me, Shane really just copped out. That's my conspiracy. Like he copped out and just didn't want to be in WWE anymore. Like,
but either way, I was just like, oh, of course you had to have your moment. I was like, dude, I'm not saying like he did it on purpose, but like you had to have a moment. Like father, like was it like son, like father, like son.
Non-wrestler people, they got mad at me, be like, how could you be so insensitive to this topic? Like, Bleach Report is letting us. I'm like, first of all, the news came from Triple H's mouth, okay? So to me, that tells me that this is not really of like a big injury. Because remember, we're talking about Shane McMahon, who jumped off the Hell in the Cell cage to land on a what? On a table, and the next day do what? Continue his promo. Yeah. I don't eat that. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But sorry guys, I had to vent out that part. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media. We're on the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter account. Providence Lucha Talk. So, well, you can listen to our full audio in your favorite podcast media app. There's nothing more to say. Gunther has this. We're going to continue seeing this.
The NXT might be on there.
Yeah, the NXT, it is what it is. I'm Jay Aguilar.
Besosito.
We say good night, buenas noches, and best of luck.
Good night. Yeah.